I'd say Chick Hicks was a pretty good villain in the first Cars movie, although he didn't have a laser gun that made race cars burst into flames. He definitely served the villain purpose. Now, he doesn't have that many variations. As you can see, I only have 4 of them loose here, but all of them are very, very interesting, and we'll go into great detail about them later on in the video. But first, let's introduce the suggester of this video. Thank you very much for the suggestion, ZT Cars Collection. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy this video. Now, if any of you out there would like to make a suggestion or a birthday request of your own, feel free to do so. Just please watch the video in the description below. It's right at the top of the description. You can't miss it, and it's only like 11 minutes. And in those 11 minutes, it explains how to make a proper suggestion. So please do watch that video. And now let's get right into a review here of the variations of Chick Hicks. So he obviously was the main villain in the first Cars movie, proving to be the racing rival of Lightning McQueen. Of course, the King was also McQueen's racing rival, but he just didn't really assert himself as a villain. I mean, he was not as aggressive as Chick Hicks because the King was always ahead of both Chick Hicks and McQueen. So really, Chick Hicks and McQueen were always competing for that second place or third place, and that's what made them rivals, really hardcore rivals. And Chick Hicks did some pretty bad things to McQueen in the movie that, at least to me, that just doesn't look legal in racing terms. I'm very surprised that they actually allowed Chick Hicks to get away with pushing him off the track several times and causing that huge crash in the first race at the Motor Speedway of the South. Now, Chick Hicks himself, your regular version, has been released countless times over the past 10 years. Of course, Cars 1 came out in 2006. Here we are in 2016, so it has been 10 years. He was originally released as a part of the Desert Card series, the first ever series for the entire line. Now, unfortunately, I don't have that one here physically to show you guys because I still need to buy it. So I will show a picture, and he was re-released in 2007, and throughout the 10 years, he has been released so many times. I mean, not as many times as Lightning McQueen, but still, he is not a hard car to find or get at all. He's just been released in multi-packs, 2-packs, launchers, etc. A lot of different ways of getting released. Now, of course, we have the Dinoco Chick Hicks, who has been released quite a bit as well, but not as much. And Dinoco Chick Hicks appeared in Lightning McQueen's nightmare when he thinks that if he doesn't get to LA, Chick Hicks will win the Dinoco sponsorship. So that's McQueen's fear, and in that fear, Chick Hicks gets a sponsorship, and this is what he would look like. Here we have a lenticular version of Chick Hicks, and you might be wondering, RC Cars 5, you hate lenticulars. Why do you have a lenticular version of Chick Hicks? And you're exactly right about me hating lenticulars, but I actually got this one from a multi-pack. I did not buy the multi-pack to get Chick Hicks. I actually bought it to get Viewzine, aka Ryan Shields. It was a Target exclusive 4-pack of 4 lenticular cars: McQueen, Chick Hicks, the King, and Viewzine. I did not have Viewzine yet, so I didn't really care if he was lenticular or not. I just wanted the character himself. So along with him, I got these 3 as well, and so I knew I had him. I was like, might as well throw him into review here today because he is technically a different variation of Chick Hicks. Now, this was from 2009. The lenticulars were much more primitive than they became in 2010, where you have multiple eye positions. As you can see, this is a 2010 version of Lenticular Chick Hicks. I actually got this at Tuesday morning for $3. It's on mint card, so I definitely couldn't pass it up. And like I said, you have two different eye positions there, whereas in 2009, all the lenticulars could do was blink. As you can see, eyes closed, eyes open. Now, definitely not the best because you can still kind of see the eyes through there, but you know, kind of nice. They were trying out something new and they really improved it from 2009 to 2010. However, still, it just wasn't the best because at sometimes you could see four eyes, and I've gone over this before, but just not that appealing to most collectors. And here we do have the Star Wars Cars version of Chick Hicks. He is portraying Boba Fett, a mercenary, I believe. He's not really on anybody's side, but he tends to be more of a villainous character, and it makes sense because Chick Hicks was a villain. So I have to say though, just an amazing car. He's actually my favorite Star Wars car crossover because I just love the rockets, love the character design. So I'll go into much more detail about him, but first, I just want to show a few more variations of Chick Hicks I do have in the package and talk about one that I do not have. So here we do have Chick Hicks with Piston Cup. I actually got this one in the package quite recently. It's a Chase from 2009, and I did not open it up because it really is just your regular Chick Hicks I have right here with a Piston Cup that says Piston Cup Champion, or it just says Champion Chick Hicks. As you can see there pretty clearly, the Tax Chick Hicks Champion, and this is the Piston Cup that he received at the end of the first Cars movie because he did end up winning the Piston Cup, although he didn't really gain much from doing so. So I'm going to leave that one in the package for now. I don't really feel the need to open it up. I actually have the most recent release of Chick Hicks here as well from 2016 in the Piston Cup series. Pretty nice, 2 out of 14. Since he gets released so much, like I said at the beginning of the video, he is not hard to find at all. But I do want to show you guys just the ones that I have here in the package. Dinoco Chick Hicks from 2015 in the Dinoco series. Now, Dinoco Chick Hicks from about 9 years ago is pretty rare, and I see it going on eBay for quite a bit of money. So if you have that one in the package, good for you. It's quite the rare one. Here we do have Chick Hicks as Boba Fett in the package. I got this when I went to Disney World in January of this year. Such a fun experience. And I'm going to make an announcement in this video. I'm going to Cars Land in November of this year. So I'm super excited about that. Super excited. I cannot wait to vlog there, buy some cars, and just gonna be an awesome experience. I've always wanted to go there, and for any cars collector, it really is the zenith, the highest point, like your climax of the entire hobby. So I'm so excited for that. I cannot wait to share the experience with you guys. Now, getting back to Chick Hicks here, this is the rubber tire version of him, only at Kmart. And the reason I have not opened this one up yet is the same reason I did not open the Chick Hicks with Piston Cup, because it just is Chick Hicks with rubber tires. So I am fine with keeping this in the package because the difference is so slight. It's not really that rare though. If I wanted to open them up, I could and just buy another one, but I'll keep him in the package for now. Now, I did say there's one version of Chick that I'm missing, and that is the Color Changers version of Chick Hicks. It's actually Dinoco Chick Hicks. They never made just a regular Chick Hicks color changer. That's most likely because he has so many decals on him. It was much easier for them to just use the Dinoco version. As you can see, much less details. Now, it's very rare nowadays. Extremely rare, I should say. Goes for quite a bit. He was released as a single and then a 2-pack, and he hasn't been re-released in the Color Changers line yet, but he might. I feel like it's pretty probable because of all of the other color changes that have been re-released, like Francesco Bernoulli, DJ, Daryl Cartrip, Dinoco Lightning McQueen. All of those were just released in the color changes line. So that's enough talk, RC Cars 5. Now let's get into the good stuff here. We do have just your normal Chick Hicks, and we're going to take a look at his decals. Now, I feel it is very, very overlooked that he is actually sponsored by Hostile Takeover Bank. A lot of people just refer to him as, the Chick Hicks racer or Team Chick Hicks, but really should be Team Hostile Takeover Bank, because if you think about it, that's his Piston Cup sponsor, just like with Leakless. People call him Leakless because that's his sponsor, and his real name is Claude Scruggs. So just kind of putting that into perspective, and it's obviously a bank, just like U.S. Bank or wherever you live. You can think of the banks that you have there. Some balloons, very, very nice. He does have a black grill, which is supposed to resemble a mustache. He's number 86, HTB, over on the left side there. He has greenish yellow rims with black Lightyear tires. 86, pretty big on there. And now the fact that he has so many sponsors really just kind of exemplifies, really shines out the fact that he is greedy for money, because he wants to get as many sponsors as he can to, help him out and really just kind of like put himself out there, boost and promote him. You know what I'm trying to say here, guys? And it really just kind of exerts his, exerts his personality as a villain. I hope I'm making sense right now, but that's really a good point to make about him, and it really just kind of relates to the fact that he has all these decals on here. So we can check out a few of them, and might as well go through some of the more unique ones as well. We have Mood Springs, No Stall, Leakless, Little Turkey Pistons, Clutch A, Gaskets, Gasprin, Retread. Over here we have Sparrow Mint, Shiny Wax, and looks like 2 checkered flags there. And now there are actually a few sponsors on here that are not Piston Cup racers, or at least they weren't in the movie. Now one of those is Sludgy. If I can focus in on here, we can get a nice look at it. There we go, Sludgy. Now we can assume that's probably some sort of ice cream, and it's actually pretty cool. I would love to see a racer of Sludgy. Pink and white would just look amazing. Probably similar colors to Tank Coat, which we can also see there. There's another sponsor, Vroom, which was not a racer in the movie. Yum. And we can also kind of just spend some time going through this, and you can spot out some other ones. And there are multiple logos of the same sponsors. As you can see, there's another Yum and Vroom logo. So very, very cool. RPM, and these sponsors continue on the back here. HTB, Hostile Takeover Bank, and a bunch more sponsors. Now there is one inaccurate thing about him. He actually has sponsors lining his spoiler in the movie right here, but they did not put that on the diecast, probably because it was too small and be too difficult to stamp on decals, so I can understand that. Here's the base if you're interested. This is a relatively new version of him, but not too new. Just checking out the details there. This actually does have raised eyes. There's depth between the eye space and the eyelid, and that makes him different from the 2016 release of him, because that version has just flat eyes, and you guys should know by now the difference between that. They do that to cut cost, and in my opinion it just kind of looks cleaner, so I don't really mind that they're getting rid of raised eyes, sorry. Now let's talk about Dinoco Chick Hicks. Obviously, this is the version of Chick Hicks that is now mainly sponsored by Dinoco, not Hostile Takeover Bank. Of course though, Chick Hicks was never granted the sponsorship of Dinoco in the movie. It was only a part of Lightning McQueen's nightmare. He feared that Chick Hicks would actually get the sponsorship because McQueen was stuck in Radiator Springs and he really needed to get to LA. So we have a much simpler version here of Chick Hicks Definitely not as many sponsors, because now that he's sponsored by Dinoco, he doesn't need all of those access sponsors like Sludgy or Tanko, and I can continue on forever because he has hundreds of sponsors there on his body. He now only has the Dinoco logo on his hood with the blue T-Rex, along with a small list of other sponsors that include the Piston Cup itself, Nitroade, Little Turkey Pistons, No Stall, Mood Springs, Retread, Vitaline, and Easy Idle. For your typical Piston Cup racer, they have quite a few more sponsors because they need them, even though, for example, here we have Leakless. He is mainly sponsored by the company Leakless, but he still needs those additional sponsors to put on the side of him, and he has quite a few more than Dinoco Chick Hicks, very similar to the king himself. He doesn't need that many sponsors, so he just puts, what is that, like 10? Not even 10 right there. He does not need that many because Dinoco is such a big company. We also have Dinoco Lightning McQueen. Now, Dinoco Lightning McQueen goes from having all those sponsors that he typically has, as you can see, quite a few. And when he goes to Dinoco in his daydream, he has only one sponsor, and that's Dinoco. So you can just see how big Dinoco is, the company that is, and it really just allows the racer or whoever is representing Dinoco to not really require as many sponsors because of the financial situation. I know I'm getting really deep with all this finance stuff, but it kind of has to be discussed when your typical Chick Hicks goes from having hundreds of sponsors on his body to having like 10. So, I feel like at least it has to be talked about. Now, on the back of Dinoco Chick Hicks, we just have a couple more Dinoco logos and his number 86. So a pretty simple design. And here are all three of the Dinoco racers lined up. Let me know in the comment section below which one is your favorite. My favorite is the King because he actually had the sponsorship. The other two were just figments of McQueen's imagination. There's not much to say about this Lenticular Chick Hicks, but I just want to compare it to regular Chick Hicks. The only difference is the windshield there being lenticularized rather than just flat and regular. So it's really all. I mean, obviously there are going to be some color variances, but overall the same car. And now let's get to what probably quite a few of you out there have been waiting for, and that is Chick Hicks as Boba Fett. Of course, this guy never appeared in either of the movies. He was, of course, created to celebrate the purchase of Lucasfilms by Disney. It started in 2013. They released like 8 cars that were a mixture of Disney cars and Star Wars characters. 2014, they released the second wave, and that's the wave that Chick as Boba Fett was in. And in 2015, they released a third wave. 2016, they didn't release anything, so we can most likely make the assumption that the line is over, and I'm okay with that. We got quite a few combination cars, I guess you could say, out of it, so I'm completely fine if they just ended it with 3 waves. So now, as you can see, he looks almost identical to Boba Fett, at least the most identical you can get when you're making a car into a character. Now, I don't know much about Boba Fett. I don't even know much about Star Wars. I've only seen The Force Awakens, which is episode 7 that came out last December. It was a great movie, but Boba Fett did not appear in it, so I don't really know much about him. So he's definitely not a good guy, but I don't think he 100% works for the dark side unless they hire him to do something or go after someone. At least to my knowledge, please, those Star Wars experts out there, let me know exactly what he does in the movies and, what his purpose is in the movies. I'd love to hear it. I really do need to watch episode 1 to 6, and I will, trust me, probably during Christmas vacation or something. I'm not really sure because I don't have that much spare time nowadays besides from doing these videos. So we can see all of the scratch marks on him, which I believe this would be his helmet. As you can see, you can kind of see his eyes in there, but he has this casing around his head, which symbolizes Boba Fett's helmet, right? And he does have this rocket launcher back here, which I think that Boba Fett has in the movies. He has it on his back, I think, and it kind of launches out. So, pretty cool character. Very, very nice. And he does have this little weapon up front as well. Very, very cool indeed. So what's your favorite variation of Chick Hicks? Mine is without a question Chick Hicks as Boba Fett. He just looks so cool, so much detail, and is extremely different from the original Chick Hicks. Now you may personally like Dinoco Chick Hicks more, or maybe you just simply like the regular version of Chick Hicks, and that's completely cool as well. Now, I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday for a birthday request. Now, a quick thing that I have to say is that usually when I have birthday requests on days that I do videos of new stuff, which those days are Tuesdays and Saturdays. On Saturday, yesterday, I reviewed 2016 Case K, and on Tuesday of last week, I reviewed Precision Series Sheriff. Of course, there were a few extra videos kind of scattered in that week, but take out Mater and Sarge from the Precision Series, and then you have like a normal week. So, like I was saying, when I have an occurrence of a birthday request on one of those days, I usually upload a video of new stuff like on Wednesday or Monday, or if it's on Saturday, I'll do a Friday. But I am busy, really busy. I don't even know how I was able to do all those extra videos last week. So you may not see an extra video this week, but hopefully the 2 extra videos last week kind of make up for this. So I hope you guys can understand. And I'm very sorry for any audio blips that might have happened. I actually heard one while I was listening over the footage, and I just cannot re-record an entire 5 minutes of video because there's like a little blip. I'm trying to figure out a solution to that, but I just don't really know how to change it, and I think it actually might be a problem with my phone, and then the only solution to that is getting a new phone. So that doesn't happen that often, so I don't know, and I'm rambling again. Sorry about that, so I'm going to end off the video here. I hope you all enjoy. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this video lived up to what you'd hoped it'd be, ZT Cars Collection, and bye now, guys. Thank you again for watching. Welcome to the bonus round. For those of you who stuck through the legitimate entire video, here's your reward. We do have 2 additional variations of Chick Hicks, but these are from the Disney store, so that's why I didn't include them in my actual review, but no better chance than now to show them off. These are called Hot Rod Chick Hickses. Obviously, one is regular, the other one is metallicalized. Both of them have a blown engine, a lifted back, and large exhaust pipes coming out of the side, similar to Snot Rod. Very, very cool.